Hello, Dan. It is Wednesday evening. It's going to be a banner week for me. It's like 3 videos in 1 week. I watched your vid yesterday. I got some responses to it. First and foremost, coming out and visit. I would love to still come out and visit. Probably the most logical times or the best times I can get away given work is spring break, Winona State spring break, or after graduation. Winona State spring break is the second week of March. So I'm thinking that maybe leaving here on Friday, March 5th, and coming out till about midweek the following week, say the 10th or so. It would either be that or like the first or second week of May. But I think March would work way better. So, plus it's sooner. Anyway, let me know. That's my suggestion. I think I have some insight as to the cause of your ennui. You might want to consider watching less movies like The Cove and more movies like Love Actually. In fact, that's my prescription for you. Is I want you to watch the movie Love Actually. That will raise your spirits, guaranteed. I also have a book I'm going to bring out when I come for you, which will also serve to raise your spirits and make you laugh. The great thing about the guy, I'm not going to tell you who he is that the way he writes, it's a bit on the naughty side. It's very funny, but he's not cynical. He's actually very embracing humanity, and that's why I like him so much. But he really does make me laugh. So anyway, less Cove, more Love Actually. That's my suggestion to you. So no, I don't think you're a wuss. Well, at least not for the reason you think you are. But no, it's easy for that, I think, to get into that rut at work. Sometimes I think it's because I own my own business that I feel like that, but I don't think it is. I think it's just being a 40-year-old dude that we feel that way. So it's definitely it definitely follows a sine curve, with those ups and downs, and persevere. As you know, and I agree, you have a really good day, and that really kind of changes things and sets the tone. And I think that's why I've been swimming. And it's funny because you're talking about swimming. I don't really so much think of myself as having a great deal of energy. Often I feel like the last thing I want to do is go get in the pool, and I sort of force myself often to do it. But especially this semester, I've regimented my schedule such that I know that I'm swimming on these days, and that's just kind of the way it is. And the other thing is if somebody asks me, can we meet there, or can you do this or that, and it's during the times I have set aside for swimming, I just simply say, no, I'm busy. And I think that's what it takes if you want to do it. But I don't know if you remember when I first started swimming. It was about a year ago, and I talked about it on video, but I was only swimming, maybe a quarter of a mile at a time, and now I'm can swim 4 miles at a time, so that's 16 times the distance. When I think back on that, I think that it's really taken me, I would say, just into the last week to I really feel comfortable. I mean, really do feel comfortable in the water. And the biggest breakthrough came watching that video. I didn't actually get a chance to tell you the results of trying out those new techniques. I mean, I tried out the techniques. And on Monday, I do sprint sets. So I do 10 100-yard sprints, and after every sprint, I do a 50-yard kick, and then I rest for 30 seconds to do the next one. Well, my previous best 100-yard was 70 seconds, so a minute 10 seconds. And but usually that's my best one of the 10, and then the rest of them are somewhere 113, 114, 115, and on Monday, my first sprint was 65 seconds, so a minute 5. And then every sprint for the next 8 were under my previous personal best, under 110. They were right around 108. And then my last one, my 10th one, I did it in 104. So 64 seconds is my new best, and I think it's just from having watched that video and tried to implement those technique changes for myself. And I do realize that physician heal thyself has its limitations. There's only so much I can do. But I've actually talked. I think I told you I talked with a St. Mary's coach and one of the St. Mary's swimmers about working with me this spring and summer. So they actually have an underwater video system as well, and hopefully I can use that. But I really think that, again, it's not so much the energy as it interests me. So it's one of those things where it gives me energy rather than requiring energy. Same thing with the acting. I really enjoyed that. And did I mention that there's a play called Harvey? I think you probably know the story with Jimmy Stewart, 6-foot white rabbit that's imaginary or invisible. Anyway, that's coming up in auditions actually the Sunday of the variety show. And Beth and I think both are going to audition. So, and I think I told you, yes, that Duncan's one-act play at school, the competition they're in, they won their competition, and now they're on to the next level of competition at state, and they'll be competing tomorrow, actually at 3:45. So I'll let you know how that turns out. But anyway, I don't really think about back to the swimming so much as taking energy. I imagine that swimming is like music for you. When I look at all the stuff you do, I'm thinking, man, how does he have the time and the energy and the creativity for that? I can't pull that together. Even if I could play the guitar and sing, which I think I can't. But anyway, but as you work a little bit at a time, and next thing you know, you're posting weekly songs on YouTube. So, so yeah, I think that as probably for you said you've been having this tough time. You've been playing lots of music. Well, that for some people they marvel at the ability that you can do that. And I'm glad that Taryn liked Great White. I figured you guys would like it. I mean, it's a funny song. It's relatively simple, easy to understand. I think it's hilarious, personally. And I was hoping you would learn to play it on your guitar. But it makes me laugh. Especially I've never seen a seal so fat and so slow line. I think that's hilarious. My kids may never get in the ocean, but I do think it's funny. And you were talking about you were talking about the book you read about the National Geographic, and I don't know. This seems like it's the way of the world, where you've got people who are telling you how to live, and what do they know? But we're the ones who are working for a living and struggling every day. But they're probably working for a living and struggling every day too. Perhaps not monetarily, but I don't know. I'm not sure that. I don't know. I'm not sure that I feel any less entitled. I just kind of do my thing, and I watch a lot of Love Actually. So, and I read a lot of Christopher Moore. I told you the author's name, Christopher Moore. So I read a lot of his books, and I swim a lot. And the great thing about swimming is your head's underwater, you can't hear anything. So I recommend it for you. But speaking of energy, man, coaching, I don't know how you can do that. I mean, that's one that I think if I got into it, it would just be so all-consuming, I would not do anything else. And I've actually thought about trying to get into it with swimming. But at least I'm into the sport, and really into it, which would help. But I can only imagine how time-consuming it must be. And I don't know how you do it, because, well, anyway, good for you. Somebody's got to do it, right? So, all right, that's all I've got. Let me know about that first week of March 5th through the March 10th or so, and I will talk when I talk to you. Yeah, still dead.